Cruising with Disney works differently than it used to, which is why we've got a full list of new cruising rules for you to learn about today here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We are back to sailing with Disney Cruise Line today. In fact, I just got off the Wish last Friday. But before we hit the high waters, there are a few new rules we need to discuss first that could put you under if you don't know about them. Along with real Disney Cruise Line rules, I'm also going to sprinkle in a few of our DFB specific rules, of course, for y'all that we always have to do when we're cruising the Disney way, either out of necessity or just plain fun. First up, real rule, no ducks. Excuse me, Disney? You gonna kick Donald Duck off the ship? No, never Donald. Donald will always be invited onto a Disney cruise. We're talking about those rubber duckies, though. These are a whole other story. Now let's back up here for a second. So there's a long-standing tradition on cruise ships where guests bring little rubber duckies to hide all over cruise ships for other guests to find. This isn't just a Disney thing. It's been one of those little traditions that cruisers have created over the years across all the popular cruise lines. That being said, it's been recently confirmed that Disney does not condone the practice of hiding ducks in public spaces on its cruise ships, and cast members will actively remove any ducks they might find while doing their rounds. Now, rubber ducks aren't banned on the ships. You can still give passengers a rubber duck, you just can't hide them, is all. This is why you might want to purchase a fish extender before your cruise. Right, what's a fish extender? Well, these are little gift bags or little hanging things that passengers can choose to purchase ahead of their trip and hang outside their cabin door. They're called fish extenders because on the smaller ships, those clips by your door were fish, and so they call them fish extenders because they're hanging from the fish, right? And this functions sort of like a mailbox that other passengers can drop goodies into. This is a cruise tradition created by Disney Cruise Line fans and not Disney itself. And usually you can find a Facebook group of other people on your cruise and connect with them and say, okay, I'm going to put something in your fish extender. That doesn't sound good. You know what I mean. And like I said, most folks find their fish extender friends through Disney Cruise Line forums or Facebook groups, but just make sure the site you're using to meet these cruise line companions is a reliable and safe one, and that you're not giving away any super personal information while you're trying to find your fish extender matchup. Anyway, you can hand make fish extenders or buy them off Etsy or Amazon, but the important thing to remember here is that Disney doesn't have a whole lot to do with this cruise feature, nor will they sell you a fish extender in the cruise gift shops. So what are you supposed to pack for a Disney cruise? I'm glad you asked, because we got a whole Disney Cruise Line packing list all typed up and ready to send your way, along with our full Disney Cruise Ultimate Guide, which also comes with extra nifty features like cruise ship overviews, private island destination sneak peeks, full cruise planning timelines, pro tips, printable planning sheets, and more. And did I mention that it's free? Go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or click on the link in the video's description for disneyfoodblog.com/cruise planning, and we'll send that whole ultimate guide your way. All right, our first DFB rule of this list is calling Pepe the King Prawn. Now, if you're on a Disney cruise that offers the Midship Detective Agency, first, play it. It's a ton of fun and it's free to participate in. All you got to do is visit one of the self-serve Midship Detective Agency kiosks on board the Disney Fantasy or Dream to get started. And number two, even if you don't have time to play it, make sure you at least find time to track down the Pepe the Prawn Stateroom door, which is part of this game, but it's still fun to find regardless. You'll know you found it once you see a teeny tiny door covered with all sorts of posters and pictures featuring other Muppet friends. Now, just finding the door itself would be satisfying enough for me. I remember vividly when I first saw it, since I've got this weird obsession with miniaturized stuff like doors, which is why I'm always trying to track them down in Magic Kingdom. But if you take a closer look at Pepe's door, you'll find a note from Pepe that says, "Call me, okay?" followed by the phone number 41548. If you dial this number back on your stateroom phone, you'll be transferred to Pepe's answering machine, which will offer up a menu of options like joke of the day, advice on dates, Pepe's proverbs, daily fortunes. There's even an option where Pepe rants about how he's not a shrimp, he is a king prawn, and don't you forget it. Okay, stick with me on this one because it might sound intimidating at first, but I promise you this latest cruise change is going to help streamline the process of getting you on board the ship and having the time of your life way faster than before. And it all has to do with luggage tags. Remember, stick with me. Okay, Disney's new luggage tags are now approximately the size of a double-sided mailer postcard and contain your name, your ship's name, your itinerary, your sail dates, your port arrival time, and your stateroom number, if available, along with a QR code that prompts you to log in and view additional port arrival information on the online guest travel booklet. Whoa, hold up. What is a guest travel booklet? Okay, it's basically a digital guide detailing your upcoming trip, including important details to help you reach your ship. This booklet will also feature things like the port's address, luggage tag info, citizenship documentation, online check-in, and more. Now, the guest travel booklet will appear when you scan the luggage tag's mailer QR code, or you can access it by going to the Disney Cruise Line website, clicking on the already booked option, scrolling down to my reservations, and clicking before you can board, choosing get details. So yeah, QR code is a little bit faster. So what happens if you don't receive your luggage tags in advance or leave them behind as you're packing? I have done this before. No sweat. You can always visit the porters at the port to get new ones made for your luggage. Easy peasy. Our next DFB rule, request Disney sheets for your kids' beds. Okay, want to add a little more Disney magic to your kids' stateroom bed? Just ask. Lots of times crew members can put character-themed sheets on your kids' bed when they come to clean your room during the day and kind of prepare that pull-out couch. When my son was little, they used to put Marvel sheets on his bed, which was super fun. You can also make other room requests for your stateroom for things like diaper genies and pack-and-plays and bed rails, etc. Just sign into your Disney Cruise account online or on the app, select My Reservations, go to the Cruise Details tab, and then head straight to the Special Requests section to make your wishes known beforehand. But you can always talk to your stateroom steward as well and see if they're able to get you any of these amenities that you might need. Our next real DCL rule, the return of Dine and Play. Okay, parents, I have great news. The popular Disney Cruise Line dining service, Dine and Play, has returned to the Disney cruise ships after being MIA since 2020. If you've never heard of the Dine and Play before, essentially this program allows kids ages 3 to 10 to spend time at the Oceaneer Club or Lab while parents and guardians finish up a relaxed dining experience. In a nutshell, adults get to enjoy the second half of their meal while kids get to enjoy some extra playtime. Guests who want to use Dine and Play will be asked as they're checking into a restaurant if they'll be using the service. And if parents say yes, absolutely, please take my child, they'll be instructed to bring their kids to the entrance of the dining room to meet the youth activities team between 9 and 9:15. The children will then be escorted to the Oceaneer Club or Lab for an evening of additional fun and games. Note that this program is only available for the rotational dining's second dinner seating. Another real rule for you, the vacation protection plan has changed. If you're going to be cruising with Disney and you live outside of the United States, you're going to have to be aware of this crucial rule change. The vacation protection plan for Disney Cruise Line is no longer available to folks outside of the United States. Now, you don't have to have the vacation protection plan to cruise with Disney. This is an optional add-on that covers you under certain unexpected circumstances and emergencies, both before and during your trip. But at this time, Disney has not shared an alternate service for those who book a Disney cruise and live outside of the United States, though we'll keep you on the loop if we hear anything on the matter. Good news is that if you no longer qualify but you already booked a vacation protection plan, this will still be honored on your existing reservation. But if you choose to cancel your vacation protection plan and you live outside the United States, you can't re-add it once it's removed. Our next DFB rule for you, bring a refillable water bottle or two. This rule is very AJ coded, or more specifically AJ Soda Goblin coded. I like to bring 2 refillable bottles with me if I'm going to be chilling on the pool deck and reading my Kindle for the next hour or so. And the first one is the one I fill up with water, because you gotta stay hydrated, my friends, always stay hydrated. And the second bottle is to fill up on soda, because I like soda. Now this is important, y'all. You cannot, I repeat, cannot refill soda directly from the spout into your bottle, but you can refill one of the ship's provided cups a few times and dump it into your own bottle so that you don't have to make so many return trips if you too are a fellow soda goblin like me. By the way, if you have the Soda Goblin t-shirt that we sell at dfbstore.com, please send me a picture. Next real rule, additional cruise taxes at select ports. Yikes, right? I will make this point as short as I can, but it is something you should know about. All passengers cruising into Mexican ports are now responsible for paying a new tax. Initially, this tax was going to be pretty substantial, like a whopping $42 per passenger, but cruise industry leaders have worked with the Mexican government to compromise on a reduced amount. Now you're responsible for a $5 fee per guest, which will be added to each cruise fare and collected directly through the cruise line. The amount is scheduled to increase over the following years to $10 per person on August 1st, 2026, $15 on July 1st, 2027, and $21 on August 1st, 2028. The rates have currently only been revealed through the 2028 season, so it's unclear whether additional adjustments will be made. And a new fee might be getting ready to impact Hawaii cruises as well. A prorated per person fee will add an 11% tax on ship cabins, similar to fees already paid by hotels and vacation rentals. Other destinations that have put new taxes into effect for cruisers include Santorini and Mykonos, another $20 per person. We're going to keep you updated on any more hidden port taxes that could pop up before your vacation, but just be aware you may need to save a little extra per person in your group before you sail to select destinations. Our next DFB rule: can you do something for me, please? The next time you board the Disney Treasure, seek out the genie lamp in the atrium and give it a rub. No, it doesn't do anything, although it's probably filled with good luck and junk. But listen, I think it's cool. I think it's a nice picture op for sure. And it's just one of the many, many details aboard this new Disney ship that reminds me why it just might be my favorite ship, at least from a design perspective. The design of the Disney Treasure is inspired by the grandeur and mystery of a gilded palace and draws influences from Asia, Africa, even Aladdin's Agrabah. I love the jewel tones in here, the magic carpet influences, and if you find yourself in the atrium at 10 p.m. or midnight, you'll get to see the Arabian Nights Goodnight Kiss, which will light up the chandelier and stars in twinkling colors. Now, another real rule that might be, a little problematic. Several well-known ports and countries have placed restrictions and bans on cruise ships altogether. Barcelona, Spain, for instance, has banned cruise ships from docking at the World Trade Center pier near the city center, forcing them to dock a half hour away at a different pier. While cruising isn't banned outright, the new legislature is pushing cruise-based tourism away from urban areas as an act of preservation. Nice, France has been a hot spot for tourists along the Riviera, but things have changed. Now, cruise ships that carry more than 900 guests will no longer be allowed to disembark their passengers for excursions. You'll be able to dock and look at the city, but you won't be able to get off the ship. Villefranche-sur-Mer has also introduced this ban. Venice, Italy has a pretty ugly history with cruise ships, including an incident where a cruise ship crashed into one of the wharfs. As a result, the Italian government banned ships weighing over 25,000 tons from entering the city's lagoon down the Giudecca Canal, so no more Disney cruises around these parts. Other ports with varying degrees of cruise ship bans and restrictions include Dubrovnik, Croatia, which only allows 2 ships per day with no more than 8,000 passengers each. Zeebrugge, Belgium, which only allows 2 ships per day. Alaska, only 5 ships per day. And Bora Bora, with a limit of 1,200 cruisers per day. Since more and more people are planning Disney cruises lately, thanks to all the new ships and lounges and destinations, Disney recently made an update to its gratuity pricing. While Disney recommends a gratuity amount of $14.50 per night per standard stateroom guest, including infants and children, which has not changed, the gratuity amount for passengers staying in concierge staterooms or suites has now been raised to a recommended price of $23.50 per night per stateroom guest. This includes gratuity for the stateroom and assistant stateroom host, who services the concierge accommodations, along with your dining room servers. For comparison, the previous concierge stateroom and suite daily recommended gratuity was $15.50 per night per stateroom guest, much closer to the standard price of $14.50 per night that regular stateroom guests are still recommended to pay. With all that being said, keep in mind that daily gratuity is not required on Disney cruises, but is automatically applied with the suggested rate if you don't choose a gratuity amount for your Disney cruise ahead of time. Passengers who wish to remove or lower the amount typically need to visit guest services to do so. One more price hike to talk about, and then I promise I'm done for now. On board the Disney cruise ships, you'll find a couple of adults-only premium dining options that you do need to book before your trip, though there might be some last-minute tables you could potentially secure once you board. I just wouldn't gamble on it if you know this is a priority experience for you. Now, again, while most dining on board the ships is included with your stateroom price, these premium options are going to cost you extra, and now they'll cost you even more than before. Across the Disney Cruise Line fleet, Palo and Palo Steakhouse brunch have increased $5 to a total of $55 per person, and the prix-fixe dinner at these locations has also increased by the same amount. On board the Disney Dream, Remy has increased prices for their upscale dining experiences. The champagne brunch price has risen $5 to a total of $85, and the Remy dessert experience has also gone up $5 to a total of $70. The prix-fixe dinner has gone up by $10 to hit $145. Enchanté on the Treasure and Wish is also joining in on the price increases. The prix-fixe menu is increasing by $10, bringing lunch and dinner to $145. While the Disney Wonder specifically has also increased premium dining prices, their sailings to Australia and New Zealand are not included in that price hike impact. Finally, the Disney Fantasy will be increasing premium dining prices too, but not until November 16th of this year. Okay, ready to talk about a price decrease that'll impact everybody for the better? If you've ever set sail with the Disney Cruise Line before, you might be familiar with having to pay a 20% deposit when booking your cruise. After that, you can pay off your cruise little by little however you want to, just as long as the total amount is paid in full 90 days before you sail, if your cruise is 5 nights or fewer, or 120 days before you sail if your cruise is 6 nights or more. But in an effort to help lower upfront costs, Disney has changed their deposit requirement. Now, to confirm your reservation, you can put down as little as 10% of your total cost. Not only that, Disney will hold your booking for up to 3 days before a deposit is required, which can be a great way to give yourself some extra time to think before you fully commit. Wishing for more Disney Cruise Line tips and tricks? You don't need a genie for that. We got more here on the DFB channel that you can pull up right now. So if you are new to cruising, or if you've been cruising for a while, but you're kind of like, wait a minute, there's been a lot of changes, go ahead and check out our other cruising videos, like what it's really like to cruise with Disney, which is fun and super exposing at the same time. And don't forget to pick up that free Disney Cruise Line Ultimate Guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/cruise planning. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.